Within the public. I know her
Whose
for
head I was
real.
down there? I wouldn't eat
Nothing.
nobody
But
coochie.
then it says, are you looking for somewhere for your children who can play with others that look like them? And are you tired of being a minority in their schools or daycares? Escape
Yes.
forced diversity and join other proud parents of European children as we create an atmosphere in which our kids can feel like they belong.
European
Invest in your
children.
child's sense of well being and racial identity, and by giving them the gift of time spent amongst their own people because they deserve it. I kid you
How
not.
come I
Okay,
can't?
but when we do that,
I can't jump now.
it's a different scenario.
Not-
We can't
Hey,
even
where you
have
going?
normal Black history things besides Harriet Tubman and Martin Luther King. We can't even have an
There's something
expanse
going
of
on with
what
my
true history
controller.
is and what actually
Probably
built
gonna
the
have to come
country.
back.
Well, Board of
So,
Education just took that away. Black History.
but
They just
but
took it
that's
out
what
of
I'm
schools.
saying. That's like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
took
been
a lot of
floating. It's
things out
been
of
floating
school.
around the
Yeah.
internet, and people have
Yeah.
subscribed to it so that they can
Yeah.
follow, so that they can follow through. It's been floating around, and so someone at a public school just recently posted it up on the school's website and said to parents, like a child posted it up and said to parents, maybe we should give this a try and see if our education gets better. Literally. So I'm saying, like, it's floating around, and then of course it came to my school, and I was like, oh my, what is this? And then I read across it, and I was like, it's just, between all the things that are happening, this is where we still are. These are
Yeah,
conversations
we
we're
still
still
gonna be
not
here.
having. Yeah, we're still not having.
Unless something happened like Independence Day where aliens actually cracked the sky or something like that. That would be the only time folks would try to come together to fight together for the moment.
No, they not,
And
because they
then go back to the
minorities too.
same.
No, they ain't. Because half of us gonna be wanting to
they'll
go
do it
with
for
the
the
aliens,
moment.
and the other half gonna be trying to run. Abduct me.
Nah, but we run first, ask questions later.
We
If
sure
it
do.
don't look
That's why
normal, we
I've
just
been a
shoot it.
little terrified that
do
the
y'all
government
feel-
finally admitted that they've found proof of alien life, which I mean it's obvious.
No, Red. We're not going there. Do y'all feel
There is
that
no such
our
thing.
schools are
Oh, it's letting me jump now.
are safe as far as the material that they're teaching our
No.
kids?
No,
Ooh, welcome in.
Because
Because
they
it's
took out.
still-
Think about it. They took out praying. They took out God, and they installed mommy and daddy and daddy.
You in here?
Yeah.
They took out Black History this year altogether.
Yeah.
So Black History is not allowed to be taught inside of schools unless we.
Well, if that's the
agree
case, they need to
terms.
take away American history altogether.
Well, no, they have
Right.
terms. So they have the terms, and the terms is we can't say. And I don't want to turn it into a black and white thing because my children are biracial. So I was like, or interethnical, as you put it. But I'm just saying, like, for me, it's one of these things where it's like, okay, fine. You want us to say that the reason why this portion of history has happened was because you gave us job skills. Like it was, you could have came up with something better, but it was like, they should appreciate the skills that we gave to them. So if you haven't read it, it's about 170
But
some
that's
odd pages.
crazy.
But
They
then they
didn't
also
give
want to say
skills. They were
hold
already
on.
gifted in those areas with farming where they
Hold on. Listen, we're not in disagreements about a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
This is what they're saying. And then they went on to say, how if we say that this had happened, we also have to agree that we're the ones who provoked the things that happened to us. So there's like a long list of pieces that go through. So because schools are not right now, schools are not in agreement, Black history is just not being taught because they're not going to agree to the terms of how it's being taught. So we have to say, like, if there's a war that's happened, it's because we started the war, and then we, because of our skill sets, now we've invited y'all to come help us fight the war that we started. It's like a pushback. We can't say that
Oh,
we did something
Lord.
without being
and
the
still don't
aggressor.
want to accept accountability.
Yeah,
Wow.
sounds like a domestic abuse to me.
It does.
Yeah. I said it's crazy. It's just the world that we live in right now that just doesn't seem to be changing enough. Is it because we're not bold enough to say something?
Well, I put a lot of it still on those who are like the Supreme Court justices, those that don't have term limits. I believe still with a lot of them
Agreed.
being still set in their ways, like you talked about,
Mm-hmm.
just saying, oh, this is just how I am.
That is.
This is why I think a lot of things are not getting moved the way it should because they're trying to keep it a certain way.
Yeah. I
Wow.
definitely agree with that statement.
Very true.
All the changes that could be made, we
Yeah.
slacking in a few. Definitely.
Wow.
so.
That's interesting.
Why he looked around like that?
Okay, next topic. Next topic. Do y'all feel that men are in this day and age do less than men back in the the 60s and the 50s and the
Ooh, let me take this off
the
for a second.
40s.
Hold on. I gotta sink down into the seat a little bit.
Anybody want to come forward and speak on it? There's no wrong answers.
In other words, do y'all think that men nowadays are more lazier than men back then?
I
Welcome
can't say
in,
that
Pluto.
mine do what he need to do. So
Mm.
the men in my house, like my
and how
husband said,
difficult is it to find a good man nowadays?
Oh, this is a triple loaded
well, all
question
I
right
can
there.
just say is how we
Yeah.
raise our sons. First thing my husband said, he's not raising no prima donnas, men who don't work for what they need
That's
to
right.
provide for their
That's
household.
right.
He said they gonna work. They're not just gonna sit up and play video games all day and go kick it. And no, you got to learn how to lead your household, and that's how we teach our sons.
Mm.
Mhm.
That whenever you do get married or you find the one, it's not that you're gonna be a tyrant, but you're gonna know how to handle house business
Right.
and be the leader of your home. So that's
I
how
totally agree
we
with
teach
that.
ours.
I
Yeah,
totally agree with that. And it's not enough
and it's
because
mainly
of the
work ethic.
agenda that they're pushing.
Yeah,
They're trying to take the strong men out of the home, which I think is, what I'm saying, been going on forever.
Yeah.
Even back in those slavery days that we don't want to talk about, when they had they did a lot of what they call it, buck breaking.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody familiar with that terminology? Buck
Yep.
breaking. And now they just disguised it for it to be something else, but we really know what it is.
Mhm.
Just like I was pointing out the other night, what I'm saying, slavery is prison. That's what it is now. It's prisons. But it seems as though,
Hey, Smoothio, welcome in.
Smoothio, what's going on? It seems as though that it's directed towards our culture.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't want us to have, a complete family.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed that even back in the day. And don't think I'm crazy, but you remember how they came up with the Barbies back then? How you
Mhm.
always see Barbie with a guy, but you always see the black one always by herself. And if when they start bringing the little Barbie babies,
the world is about to reset.
the black woman with the black Barbie will always be without a man, and she'll have the kids.
Mhm.
So it's like in a way that you're they're kind of trying to program it that way, to keep it separated. Because if you don't have strong
I'm outnumbered,
family
Smoothio.
ties or strength in the family as far as a structure,
Mhm.
they know they can do what they need to do.
Oh, there's definitely power.
Yeah,
inside
they
of our
know
fam-
they
there's
know because
power
if you
inside of
got
our
somebody
families.
that's truly leading, know how to lead, you're gonna lead that whole family. All them children gonna have some
Absolutely.
common sense to be leaders
Absolutely.
and know how to handle business. They don't want that domino effect to happen on a bigger level. So sometimes you might have something to get ahead.
This
But
country
see,
is
we
led
can't
on
lead a
guilt.
woman out. We
you
can't
know?
lead a woman out at all
No,
because
it's not leaving the woman out.
without a strong woman,
Yeah.
without a strong woman to be our peace, to be our nurturer, to be,
Yes.
what I'm saying, our power. I mean, we gonna fall. We're gonna fall like dominoes if we
Yeah.
don't have a strong woman with us. Period.
Yep.
Because that's how it's supposed to be. You know what I mean?
But the way structure is now, don't nobody want to go through with their partner. I put it like that. No day is going to be
gotta
just
go through to
automatically
get through.
great. That's
Got
what I'm
to.
saying. But a lot of people, they give up too quick.
Mm.
And sometimes you
And-
got to go through the mud to build something strong.
And that
That's what's
goes
gonna set
and that
the foundation
and that goes
for
to
a lot
my
of
next
things.
question.
Push the
You know what I'm
goddamn
saying?
button. I don't have a button over here. That's I just make this. Did you see Anointed? Did you see the video going around of this black man? If I find him, I'm gonna post it up because it's so good. but he's with his son. It's like short little clips, but they're all added together. And, each one is so different. So, they're sitting on the porch and his son has a book. And so he says, the music kind of comes in kind of dim. And he's like teaching my son to regulate his emotions so your daughter doesn't have to be feared when he gets angry. Like, and then he goes inside of he's going inside and he's talking to his wife. And he's like, showing my son how to be sensitive towards women. So their time of the month, he doesn't have to worry about a woman being so, so sensitive to herself. But each one is like a lesson. So like, but it's all squeezed together and it's like through these lessons. And then there's this Eastern Asian woman who does the same exact thing. And she goes, I'm teaching my son, because she's a single mom. She's like, I'm teaching my son how to do all these things so your daughter doesn't have to be in fear of all these things when you meet him. And so there has to be a caretaker. And then I watched a lot of Western men pick up on the video, so it started trending, and so I started to follow it. And I was like, I love that. I love it altogether because it was like it wasn't a terrible trend; it was a beautiful trend, and not that it should always just be men, but it should be something that we teach to our daughters too. But that's that was the only negative part. It was like, where's the side where the women are teaching women that their daughters don't have to do A, B, C, and D, where women don't have to do all these other things, and that they have this advantage here, 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 and here. I said, we can break up social norms so well if we keep teaching that duality that happens. It was nice to see a man, he was a grown man. It's nice to see a grown man recognize the duality himself and teach that to his son. And so there was this sensitive portion that was happening. There was this firm portion that was happening. And his son, you can tell, was like accepting and receiving it and delivering it back. Like, I got this, Dad, strong. I got that. But I also think that's where people are in fear. Like when we talk about this country being led in a certain way, it's led on guilt. And it's led on fear. It's not led on this is what's going to produce respect and moving forward. We're the only country that's behind. And I mean, we're behind in everything. We rank so low in so many areas compared to other countries who have moved past the things that we are still settled in. The conversations that we say that we're not having, those countries have already had it and move forward and
move
and then some.
forward.
Yeah, and we just stuck in the same. It's almost like we're in a time loop. We're just stuck in the same little thing that just keeps going over and over and over again, year by year. Yeah. But I was like, it was a nice movement. It was a nice movement to see because it was a movement and going into the right direction. I just wish more people would pick it up and keep it moving.
Yeah. Because I also we have them talks with our middle children. And sometimes me and my oldest son, we have our little, our one-on-one talks or whatever. And but I'll give my kids the floor. I'm like, come on, it's time to have a discussion. And during that discussion, we could talk about anything. I mean, anything they needed to talk about. I'd rather them get the information from me than trying to get it from some of their friends that are ill-informed. So we have those moments when I feel like, come on, let us all sit down and let's talk. And what I expect of y'all as far as school go, and hey, if y'all feel that I missed it somewhere, let me know something. And they were like, well, no, mommy, you good, But I was like, I said, no, this is your time to be honest. If you feel a type of way, but I don't know, a lot of Black families don't have to really sit down with that because, like you said, you got to have that emotional side with the boys. Let them know it's okay to cry and feel those emotions, because that a lot of times when they're not able to express that, or they become pent up, bottled up, and then they come out at the wrong moment. And so I think more folks should allow that time instead of like stop acting like a little bee or whatever, because some folks talk to their kids like that. I know a lot of parents that call they kids little MFs, and I be sitting here like, my child would not be going to stay night over there, because they ain't how we talk to ours.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
So, but I'm like, how y'all talking to them like that? Like, why? I understand you might be frustrated and you may slip, but to literally call them, you MF, or you sorry, you this. Come on, that's like messing up. But I can tell people, I said, sometimes everything that we go through can be a learning experience. I don't care whether it's good, bad, ugly. Either you're going to learn what to do or what not to do. And if it's certain things that you didn't like, that's your time that when you start having children, you can change some things and try to do some things different.
It's definitely the lack of knowing that for some adults, though. It definitely is the lack of knowing that. I think so many people get stuck in like, this is how I grew up. Remember I told you, like, this is I'm just stuck in my ways. And I'm like, it's not that you're stuck in your ways. You're just justifying your actions because you don't want to have to do the work.
And this is why people don't break generational curses. You can't break them because of that. No accountability of this is just it. Now I'm trying to be better every day. I put like every day I'm here, it's a time to grow at something. If you ain't growing, child, you ain't doing nothing.
I say that
You're
all the
just
time. I step
existing.
away from people just because
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no growth happening in where you are.
And I
because
had
you're
to
choosing
separate from
not
some
to.
friends like
Yeah.
that because I'm like, if we were doing certain things
My
in our
own family.
20s, we shouldn't be doing this in our 40s.
Yeah.
I'm like, if
Mhm.
our kids are meeting up and seeing each other in the club, why are you still going and the kids going now? That don't make no sense.
Right.
You know?
I had to do it to my own family. I'm like, listen, I can't meet you where you are.
Yeah.
You want to be stuck
Mhm.
here, and I can't
You
be
sound like
stagnant
me,
with
yeah.
you. I can't
Come-
be stagnant with you.
One of my
You
family
know,
members asked me, like, why don't you come around the family more? I said, you know what? I said, I love
Mhm.
y'all, but too many y'all in the same spot is like an overload to my system. And I
Amen.
can't deal with it. It
Mm.
ain't that I think I'm not better than any of them, but having all of them and
Yep. I'm
it's just an
saying, I'm a healed
overload.
version of myself, and
Yeah.
I'm trying to move past whatever it
Yeah.
is y'all
So
delivering.
y'all can do what y'all do, and I just
Mhm.
pop up every now and then when I need to, but I'm not finna feel like I should just have to because we family. So
Oh, girl. I
yeah,
said
I'm
that
like,
to
is
somebody
anything
the other
disturbing
day.
my peace? I will cut it off.
There's people in my family that are very animated, and I'm very like low key set back.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm like, hey, I'm not as animated all the time. But I have my
Mhm.
moments where I'm super animated. I'm like, that's the moments where I'm feeling like super safe and secure. I'm like, yeah, let's be animated together. Rah! And other times
Yeah.
I'm like, shut my door, leave me alone. Don't talk to me. I don't just over there. Stop it. Why are you talking to me early in the morning? Like it's too much. Like it's so much
Yeah.
stuff that's happening. But it takes me time to kind of like first when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh crap, I'm alive. It's like a shocker every day. I'm like, shit, I still made it. You know? So we go through like the process. But I noticed that some people want you to have the reactions on their time. And it's like in my family, it's like that's the number one. It bothers me so much. Where it's just like you want me to react the way you want me to react on your time all the time. And I was like,
Mhm.
I can't do that because it just requires me to be stagnant and malleable. And I'm not about to live life doing that for you.
Mhm.
Just so we can be stuck in the same routine all the time because that's how you see me. That's the image that you set for yourself. But it's definitely not the image I set for myself. And so I had to walk away. But I was like, people, it's like even like the littlest things. I said, I noticed I started walking away from little things, but it doesn't matter what it is. No crossing lines, borders, doesn't matter what it is. The smallest things that disturb peace, I'm like, and by,
Yep.
and by. And I
I
had to teach
agree.
my kids
Mhm.
this recently. I'm like, and by. If somebody's bothering your nerves, and by. Because it
Yeah.
doesn't make sense to have to sit up and have to deal with it over and over again. And then we get stuck in the same
Yes.
loopy conversations and still doing the same thing over and over and over again. I'm like, this
Yep.
has become tiring.
But I
And we
remember
too
the time
damn
I
old
cut
for
my
this.
mom and my grandmother off. I cut them off for almost 2
Oof.
years.
Mm-mm.
Grandmama too. She got cut off.
Not
And
the
the
grandmama.
reason why I
Can I
had
get some
to
cornbread
because
first? Hold
I was
on.
the oldest granddaughter, and you know how it is with the older kid. They pull on that one so much,
Yep.
and the
Mhm.
time you say no, it'd be like World War III going
Yep.
on.
Because you the model figure.
And it's like during that time, I feel like I was gonna have a nervous breakdown, and I kid you not. And I was like, as long as I was working in my element, as far as hairstyling, I felt better. But time I had to come back to my own life,
Mm-hmm.
I hated it. I ain't gonna even lie, I hated it because it's like everybody pulling on me, and if the time I don't do something, and you got other grandkids,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, call some of them. Well, now we want you. I'm like, I'm just one person.
Yep.
And that's why I said I had to literally get away
You
because
know,
I
you
was
just gotta get a shirt
frustrated.
that says, "If I was dead, who would you
Yeah,
call?" Like, just walking around with a shirt. If I was dead, who would you call? It wouldn't be me. I'd call
yeah.
somebody.
But when I cut them off, I ain't gonna lie, it was a piece. But now they know how to handle me. They know I would go
Yeah.
ghost real quick. Cut up if you want to, deuces, and I may pop up every now and then, but I ain't got to see nobody. I'm good.
That's how I feel now. There's a somebody here. This woman made a song and she was like, I don't want you in my house. Thanks for visiting. Please leave. Like it's a whole
Oh
song.
God.
I started putting it on my playlist every day. I said, that's exactly it. Don't come in. And I was like, I love my family, but I sent it out like an email, just like, "Poop, listen to this new track. You heard this?" Like I was like, I don't care. She was like, I don't want
But
y'all in
yeah,
my house. Go home and see the door, see your way out.
yeah,
Amen. I said, yes, please do. Sometimes you just got to step away because it's just a lot of negativity surrounding all the
yeah,
time. You stop functioning and being yourself. You stop doing
yeah.
things that make you happy and you stop seeing yourself in the light because you're so busy trying to appease other people. And
Mhm.
sometimes you just have to walk away. With family, it's definitely generational where it's like, okay, do you have this one expectation for me? I remember getting into it with my sister, and it wasn't even us that was in the argument, but the way she spoke to me, I said, you keep forgetting I'm not little anymore. So you're not going to
Mm-mm.
handle me the same way that you used to handle me because I'm not little
Mm-hmm.
anymore. And she was like, yeah, but I'm going to do this. I said, and quiet, because hold on. Like, We're not going to do that. My response to you now in my adult ways, in my adult self, is not going to respond the same way I did as a child. And though you felt like as a child you had the upper hand, let me tell you what you don't have now. You have nothing. You have absolutely
Mhm.
nothing. You'll still be sitting in the same house doing the same shit on a daily basis because that's who you are. And you're stuck there. And she's like, you're not going to talk to me any sort of way, Inspector, whatever. I'm your elder sister. I said, and then death comes to us the same. I don't what? I don't know you like that. We got the same mama, but I don't know you like that. Let me just,
Mhm.
but I had to talk to us like because they get stuck. But we do this with everyone in our life. Even at work, you make all these extra steps. The job sees you the same exact way on a daily basis. You're going to create money, make me money, and that's it. And we start jumping through hoops and shit and doing extra shit that don't belong to us. And it's a habit. I'm like, we need to start breaking up the habits that we have because I see that happen too at work, at a family function, at your friendships and your
Mhm.
relationships, jumping through hoops. Now we teaching kids don't give wifely privileges until you gotta. It's so much shit going around now. I can't deal with it all at one time. But I'm like, it's so many things. If it's negative, just walk away. If it's not inside of your best interest, walk away. If you feel like it's not feeding your goals and future of growth, walk away. If you feel like this is going to tie you down to the same generational shit, walk away. There's so much shit that we should be walking away from, but we're entertaining it for what reason? I don't know. Like,
Mhm.
is this at a point where it's like, I don't
You
know,
know
why
what?
am I
Some people just
entertaining it?
using it as a crutch.
Mm.
It's almost
Ooh.
like a story somebody had told me. How when the slaves had all the shackles and stuff, and a lot of time when they took them shackles off, it's like they still had the imprint of
Oh,
it
yeah.
to the point a lot of them still didn't realize they were actually, set free from the shackle.
Mm-hmm.
And some people I think still carry a spiritual shackle that keep them bound, and therefore they try to interject their own situations onto other people.
Woo.
Mm-hmm.
And like,
Yes.
well, since I can't do it, you can't do it.
Woo.
Says who?
Mm-hmm.
You maybe can't,
You
but I
can do
can.
it. I sure am.
So, matter of fact, let me show you. So,
Woo.
I don't know, but people got to step out of that box. I don't know why some people are fearful to just step out. I mean, you're not going to know unless you step out. Even if you
Mm-hmm.
fail, still step out.
Oh, failure is such a gift. Failure is such a gift. People treat it
Child,
so
them,
wrong. It
them
is
are
such a
learning
gift.
experiences.
Ooh. I used to write it down and be like, you know how many times it took me to get right here? Shit. That's persistence. Like, I started looking at it differently.
It
I was
ain't no
like,
different from playing a video game
right?
that you
Yeah.
might die on and you
You
still
know what
keep
it
playing
is? We
until you
don't have
pass
the
it.
mushroom to tell us that we have another try. We don't have the extra star
Right.
tell us that we have another. That's what it
Right.
is. We don't have something visual to tell us that we have another chance to go at it. So we just like, shit,
Yeah.
I give up. I don't want to do it anymore. I was like,
No.
give me my mushroom and let me get back at this again. I'm gonna try all over again. I'm gonna start walking around saying that to people, like, give me my mushroom. Put on a shirt. Just give me my mushroom.
And that's
I
another
got
thing
another
I
try.
instill in my kids that whatever you start, finish it.
Mm.
Don't ever get into something and you don't finish it. Even if you may not like it, finish it out. And them are the things that I definitely try to make sure, don't just quit. You didn't got in it. Now you see you don't like it. Now we know the following year, don't get into this.
Mm.
Because I won't let my kids quit. If it's something that they got it, no, you can't quit. Now, if you're being mistreated, that's a different story. But if now you to the point, I don't want to do it because no, we're going to finish this out because you still made an obligation to take care of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want them growing up, oh, I don't like this, let me switch. Oh, I don't like
Ooh.
this, let me switch.
Ooh.
Finish some things out.
That sounds like today's relationships and marriages. Oh, I said that out loud. Shit. Oh my God. My bad. I didn't mean to say my
Mm-hmm.
mouth be doing stuff my body don't be asking it to all the time. That's it. Damn. That just sounds like
Well,
that
I just tell
happening.
folks marriages to work. Don't get caught up in the rainbows and the flies and the
First of all,
wedding
take
day.
that whole statement back. Take that whole statement back. Let me tell you that I had an argument with somebody the other day, and I don't argue. I can't argue with you. You mad. Like I just had to break out. They was like, oh, marriage is the finish line. I said, marriage is the beginning. What you talking about? Y'all be.
Yeah.
He said, what? I said, you're out here talking about, I need to settle down. I was like, that's the problem is that y'all settle. And then you get stuck. And then you get lost.
Nah, in
You
marriage,
don't
you're
realize
supposed to grow.
it's the beginning. It's the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm settling down. You ain't settling nowhere here. Please don't come to me with this. I'm settling down. Don't do that here. You be by yourself in your complacency. I said But I was like, like marriage, it's work. But I feel like people forget that you have growth. Like I say this all the time,
Yeah.
evolutionary. You just keep growing, right? You have to love people through growth. And people
Yeah.
stop because they hear the word settled, and that's exactly what they do. They just sit down and they're like, "I'm done. I made it to the finish line."
Because I tell my husband all the time, I love you, but sometimes I don't like you.
Yep, amen.
And I tell him that. But
I
I'm
love you, but
like,
I don't
he
like
know
you
the
right
love
now.
is there. And he know that love, I'm a ride or die. If I have to help him fight, he know I will do it. But he probably have to pull me off because, yeah, I ain't gonna let nobody talk crazy to mine. I will get in there. I will. So he know that I would do that.
My mother is super petty. My mother be like, "Oh, it's nice to meet you. My name's Naima." Like I kid you not, to my dad all the time. When she knows that he goes through growth, she be like, "It's nice to meet you today, Aaron.
Yeah.
How are you?" And he's like, "Oh, we here again?" She said, "Well, you tried to change up, so I needed to figure out who we were talking to today."
Yeah,
My mom be
so-
super petty with it, but I think she realizes, she realizes when he's going through growth moments, and they're older. She's like, I realize that this new person that's coming is the new person that's getting ready to settle in for a while. This is this new person that's getting ready to be here for a while. I have to learn new things for this person. I have to figure out who this new person is so those changes will happen. But people, they get married and like, I'm settled, I'm done. That's it. We made it. And we had the wedding. We settled down. That's it. Oh, no. If you don't put in that damn work, we not on the same page. I can't do it with you.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yep.
You're going to have
So,
to love me through all the growth.
Nowadays, is relationships traditional still?
We have relationships out here? Shit.
They're not traditional.
So mine's
Traditional has
traditional.
left the building. Huh.
Mine is traditional.
I
My
said
son,
nowadays.
nowadays they going for whatever. Can probably get their rocks off. My son and his girlfriend went to Memphis. Just took a little trip there, and so they do the his and her. They kind of coordinate when they go out, right? So they went out to this place, and everybody just looking at him and his girlfriend, and taking their pictures because his girlfriend does model. Before I kid you not, him and his girlfriend came to the house, and they was like, "Y'all won't believe what happened to us."
Thanks for coming.
Some chick just walked up to my son and his girlfriend and asked him, "Do y'all do poly?"
Oh,
Is that a drug?
And I said, "Excuse
It's a
me."
Multi-relationships.
Oh.
Basically,
it's
she
not a drug?
wanted both.
3 people in a relationship.
It's
She wanted
called
both.
poly? It's called
Yes.
Yeah,
poly?
there's like 17,000 names for this. Yes.
So, like, is it
Polymonogamous. Yeah.
Yeah, she
there's
wanted
so
both
many.
of them.
that actually happens in the United States?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Evidently,
everywhere.
it does.
I
And
thought
first
that
thing
happened.
I asked,
See, I thought they called that pimping. That's not
Oh
pimping?
my gosh.
Mm.
Oh my god.
no.
That's not
Oh,
That's
pimping.
my
That's
God.
different.
Okay,
That's
I break it down easy. It's almost
No,
like some
don't
sister
do
wife
it.
type
No,
stuff.
don't do it. Don't do it. You're gonna have nope, don't do it. We're gonna stay clear.
Okay, I'll give you one
understand the
better.
terms.
Tatiana Taylor and her husband, they played around like that and have a side piece.
That's because she ain't had no choice.
And
Oh,
she
they
had a
getting
choice, but that's what
divorced.
she liked too. So
Oh,
Mm.
well, yeah, okay.
I'm sorry.
T.I.
Yeah,
and
this
Tiny did the
conversation-
same thing,
No,
right?
I'm finna share my man
T.I. and Tiny
knowing
did
me.
the same thing, right?
So
Mm-hmm.
And Jada
Mhm.
Pickett and Smith.
That's
Well, no, they had an
something.
entanglement. Yeah, it was an entanglement.
well, their daughter, she's like that. Polly, Willow is. She's
Mm.
into that. So
It looked like
Yeah.
a good time to me. to
so
get some
that's why I
candy.
said nowadays it's
It was like
just
a good time to you.
No, I said for me to go get some candy. I stayed
Oh.
far from that conversation.
God dog.
Good time. Wait. Well, I'm
So, that's
sorry
why I
that I
said
didn't know that.
It's not traditional. They
but I
just
was
go
always
for
taught,
wherever.
if you don't know.
Sometimes they feel like a nut, sometimes they don't. That's the mentality I think the young people have.
Really, that's it.
Yes.
Okay,
what you're
almond
saying.
joy.
That's the only way I can break it
Okay,
down. Sometimes I
Almond
feel
Joy.
like a nut, sometimes I don't.
Sometimes I feel like a nut.
Yeah.
Sometimes it don't. You
Sometimes
remember
it
that?
don't.
And this is
Almond
the
Joy
generation we
has
live
nuts. Miles,
Mounds don't.
I'm
Wow.
done with you, Candy.
So,
Oh.
is that popular nowadays?
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah. It is.
More so than a traditional
yes.
relationship.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There was a video I was watching where a lady,
I'm
she
not
had
doing this
that.
conversation.
It was a
with you.
lady doing that. She had
Mm-mm.
2 boyfriends.
Yes.
Like
But
Three's
this one- but-
Company, like the show Three's
But this one is crazy. Actually,
He
she
said, like,
had a
Three's
husband,
Company.
and her husband had a
boyfriend.
guy. So basically,
No.
she accepted him too.
Oh,
I was like, no, but it worked for them. I guess she got the best of both worlds, or whatever the case may be.
No,
But
he was
So
getting
they
better.
trisexual.
yeah. He was getting all the worlds. I'm so sorry. I'm so
yeah.
sorry to stay out of this.
No.
Mm-mm. I had a man tell me the other day that one of the main reasons why women get ghosted in relationships today is because men don't know how to say that they need intimacy. And so they just do it and then walk away.
I know how to say I need intimacy, but I need intimacy.
He said it is these young cats out here don't know how to say that they need intimacy. And so what they do is they play the relationship role for a little bit.
Well, I
and then they
think,
ghost
but
out.
the thing is, people got to stay long enough
I
to
got you.
learn the person they're with, to know the love language.
Mhm.
But if you expecting the person you with to love you like the last one did, which I call the Mo Larry Curly syndrome, you're gonna have problems.
Okay, so what is love languages? Explain that to the people
Oh.
that don't know.
Oh God.
Okay.
It's
Nothing.
old-
Nothing.
It's
It's
nothing.
absolutely nothing.
it's
I'm gonna be the
paying attention.
opposite
Quality is
end.
Paying attention to your partner. That's
Yeah.
it.
Like you know,
Like you know what they like, you know how to push their buttons, you know when they need that time from
Buttons.
you.
it's
So
it could
somebody
be
done got
just-
rich off-
it could just be
somebody
they
got
could
rich
come
off
in.
philosophy.
Relation now.
no, but
that
it just scares me that you only
really
have
don't
one.
exist, or
Who
what's
doesn't?
going
Who
on?
has one? You have all of these love languages.
But that's what I'm
There's
saying.
different. There's different
yeah.
forms of you that require something different each
Yeah.
time.
Who came
just-
up with it?
That's
Okay.
just the label
Sometimes
that
I
they
put it like
Somebody
this.
who wrote a book. I don't know. Why are you asking me?
Well,
Listen,
I
if you
ain't
don't
read no
Wikipedia,
book. I'm talking about experience.
you better get on
And
the
sometimes
Wikipedia
I
and
know,
ask.
sometimes I would just grab my husband. Like if I know he didn't had a rough day, and my husband is a man of few words,
You say you just
He-
grab him.
I would I
Yeah.
would literally grab him and just
I don't believe
hug
you
like,
him.
how
talking
you
to me
grab him by the
45
neck?
minutes after you get home from
By
work.
the hair?
No.
How you grab him?
No, I just grab my. Sometimes if I'm sitting on the edge of the bed, I tell him to sit to my leg, and I just sit there and I hold mine.
That's what's up.
You
That's
know,
what's
I
up.
hold mine.
That's what's
You
up.
different than me because I don't believe in talking to me. Don't talk to me 45 minutes when you come home from work. We need to
But I,
digress.
you know, but his,
like from work.
but he, you know, he
from
do
work.
PlayStation, which
You
I feel like
extra.
that. Any
You
man who want to
extra.
do his PlayStation, he done
No.
worked all day. Let him have that.
Exactly.
Time on his
Don't
PlayStation.
nobody. I'm
Give him
PlayStation.
If
If he didn't work all day, let him do his thing.
That's what era we in?
That's
Grown
therapy for
men
them.
playing PlayStation?
Yeah.
Listen,
man.
He play
it's
Madden.
$600
Or,
game. You
you
know.
know,
I am still
in-
a game. What you think? we're
NY2K.
doing now? It's a game, man.
No, I'm in here
still-
making money.
But
I
mine
still
work.
get on my- I still
He
get on my
work.
PlayStation.
She said he don't sit on that couch all day. He get up and
No,
gets the
no, ma'am.
jobs
No,
and goes
ma'am.
and gets the
No.
Montes and brings home
Yeah.
the bacons.
I guess
Yeah.
my
And then he
idea of
plays
playing
around.
is chess.
No,
That's my
he's
idea,
listen to me.
man.
He's learning that them real well for her later. That's what he doing. Just leave her alone. He playing
Oh, that's real
games.
So what you saying to me
He's like
is
AB.
what you saying to me is
he
that
trying to
your
get to it. Let
husband,
him be.
he
let
get
him
out
to it.
work and he go play his PlayStation.
Well, he'll get himself kind of set up, but before he go to
But
bed,
he has
that's
a
like his.
PlayStation.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I bought it for him.
Are you mad at
How
the
old is your
PlayStation?
husband?
My
Oh,
husband
since
is
you mad at the
he finna
PlayStation?
get ready to be 45.
Amen.
And he play PlayStation?
Sure.
Yeah, he been playing PlayStation since we got together. That's
Smooth,
his tip.
you 50 something. You
But
play
you know
PlayStation?
what? I don't care because my
Damn, you
husband,
young.
he
Yeah,
Oh,
he said like
darn
you was old. You know, listen, us brownies, we don't. Really,
yeah.
We age in
bro,
reverse.
I just, I guess I never got into it. I never got into it.
I live in Chicago. I would rather sit and play my PlayStation
Than be
than
outside.
out in the streets.
Mm.
That makes sense.
and
Now,
that's my
that makes
husband.
sense.
That's what my husband does.
That
Yeah,
makes sense. But I didn't know that a lot of,
but that's his me time. That's his me time. That where he can release, and then when he get done, like, hey, what you doing?
It's
My
just
What
me
you
time is
do?
bourbon,
man.
a cigar.
You know
and
what I'm
sitting down and
saying?
Relaxing. Mhm.
Everybody got
My
their own,
turn.
They own, you know.
But yeah, but if he work all day, leave that man alone and let him get his time. If he ain't going out to no bar or nothing like that, let them be.
My bar right there in the living room. I'm just gonna sit down and pour my
hey,
bourbon
So,
and pick up my
boss,
cigar
check
and
this out.
relax.
Even if I'm not playing my PlayStation, when I decide to relax and you know what I'm saying, I got my music. I produce music. It's
Okay.
still the same
All
thing.
right.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
get that.
It's just
And my husband be editing videos, and he does video editing, for our church. So
Okay.
he's
I get that.
always doing something, or
the
either
Lord.
studying new techniques to
For the Lord.
improve on stuff. He's not just sitting there like I'm gonna just play PlayStation and nothing else. He does a lot.
So has there ever been a time where the PlayStation got on your nerves?
In the very beginning, of our relationship.
Okay.
When she
But we were
stuck her foot
young.
on his
You got
lap
to-
and he pushed it
You
off
know,
because he had the
Okay.
joystick.
it was just.
Yeah.
I think, but he was like teens then. You know.
So do y'all ever have date night? Do y'all believe in
Yes.
date night?
Yeah.
Do that require y'all going out, or do y'all find?
Yeah,
stuff
we go
in the
out.
house?
It just depends on how I'm feeling. But if we just took care of everything in the house, all the bills and stuff like that, I'm like, shoot, we can do this at the house.
How do
'Cause
you
I'm not-
create intimacy?
Yeah.
We in the relationship area of questions. I'm gonna
Yeah,
ask all the
so-
questions.
But matter of fact, we going this Saturday. We're going to see Fantasia and Joe. So that's gonna be our date night. Kids going, godparents and my sister house. So
I hear that.
Fantasia and who?
Joe.
The
Do you
singers?
create daily
Yeah.
intimacy with your husband?
Okay.
Huh?
Do you create daily intimacy with your husband?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What's daily intimacy?
I think
Oh,
sometimes
my
I get
God.
on his nerves with it.
I-
but
you have him.
Hey, I'm here to learn. I'm here to learn. Don't
Where is your
don't keep
pappy?
the
Listen
information
here.
from me. I'm here to
not
learn.
keeping the
I'm
information.
asking.
Like daily intimacy. Like, what do you think intimacy is?
No, I'm asking the questions here.
Listen here.
daily
Judge
intimacy.
But
Jury,
we trying to
listen
see
here.
where you at is
Where you
what
are
she's
so we
trying
can
to
help
do.
you. Like this, I ask questions.
I
for
don't
you.
know what I'm asking y'all. I just
No.
asked
But
you, what is
do
daily
you?
intimacy?
No. Skip daily intimacy. What do you think intimacy is?
Because your version of it might be
alone?
different from ours.
Yeah.
It ain't just
Alone?
about sex.
Right.
know, it's-
yeah, I
okay.
definitely know that. I'm
Okay.
definitely old enough to know that. I mean,
Mhm.
it could be a conversation. It could be a laughing moment. It could be a learning moment. I mean,
Yeah,
intimacy,
okay.
as long as it's with the person that you love, you know what I'm saying? I mean, pretty much anything can be intimacy. As long as y'all.
So, but how are you
in a
creating that
moment,
space
moment.
in a daily for the person that you're with, like that secureness for them in the intimacy? So, how are you creating daily intimacy with your partner? So, like
That's
her
why I
husband comes
just
home,
asked
he
you,
makes
what
it.
is daily
but that-
intimacy?
But that's what it is. But that's what we're saying. Like intimacy per person is different. So what they find as intimacy is completely different per person. So how you think of intimacy is pertaining to just you, right? So like her husband comes home, he does his thing, whatever the case may be. And then after he's alone and separated, somebody has to now create an intimacy portion to bring it back because now they separate. They're still in the same home, but they've had their alone time away from each other, and so now they're trying
Okay,
to
I
find
get
daily
it.
intimacy. Yeah.
So that
that
could be
daily intimacy.
anything such as, hey, why don't you come and have some dinner with me or something? That's coming together, right?
But then, what I'm saying, yeah, because some people they do this, they separate, for the day, and then they don't realize it. They go to bed and they start to be like, well, this is the intimate, like it happens here. They don't come back. So then a lot of the relationships fall apart because they don't have daily intimacy. Like when we say like, the 7-7 rules. In 7 days, you should be sleeping with your wife or husband, whatever the case may be. Like you should never go 7 days without sleeping with your partner. You should never go, 7 hours without having some type of intimacy with your partner. You should never go 7, whatever, like the 7 rules. Like, like going through the process of knowing what your partner is about in their day and vice versa. A selflessness.
And I think that's what builds the oneness to where sometimes it's almost like you can finish each other's sentences or you can know what you just automatically connect.
No, that's dope. That's
Yeah.
dope.
I mean, that's how me and my husband we have our moments, and that's why we laugh about a lot of things. Because right when he trying to prove a point, he'll get to laughing when he know I'm right. Because sometimes he don't like to be wrong, and then I just walk off like, but I don't know nothing though. So let me go on and walk off. That's how we just do a bunch of stuff. We laugh a lot, even in those
That
rough
laughter,
times.
that's what keep it tight right there.
Man,
Laughter.
we'll laugh about any kind of situation. I don't care what it is. We will find something to laugh about. Honestly, I think sometimes our humor is almost dark. Some people.
Yes.
But that's our look.
Wow.
This
Hey,
is how we
honey, do you
talk.
understand the words that are coming
Yeah.
out of my mouth?
Yes, this is how we
I can live in
we
your house, so
interact.
I'm probably your
That's
we
dope.
know.
That means y'all done watched a lot of movies together.
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
And so but that's how we do our pick me ups.
Okay.
And even if it's a time that some things may fall short, I was like, dude, we've been through worse. So I'm like,
So you're
come on, shake it off.
encouraging as well, right?
Yeah.
So both of y'all
And-
encouraging to each other.
Yeah, because I don't believe in dogging him if he been hands down the whole time. Like I said, it's not gonna always be
Gotta be.
100 or 50-50 all the time. It's not. But you got to
It's gonna
know
be
when
60,
to fill
40,
in.
70, 30. Yeah.
Yeah,
Y'all
you
gotta
gotta know
take
when
these
to fill
percentages
in.
away. Woo.
Yeah. Iron
You got to know
sharpens
when to
iron.
fill in.
Yeah, thank you. Better
Because
verbiage,
when
'cause
y'all
we gotta take
together, y'all are
percentages away.
one. Y'all won. So whatever he go through, you gonna experience it too,
Mhm.
whether you like it or not, or vice versa.
Yeah, see, I speak all that language there. I
Yeah.
understand that. Yeah. But these other terms, these new terms, I don't understand the new terms, but I speak all the other language. Yeah.
He said the other languages.
Yeah.
We got to
Ain't
put
that
it
right,
together by
baby?
years. 1980s, 1970s, 1960s.
Well, I do appreciate y'all coming out, and blessing us with, your presence and everything. Because, like my man's writer's pen always say, your presence is a present. We appreciate you. Hopefully, you guys will rock with us tomorrow night, God willing. And we can get into some real conversations.
All right.
hear that.
We do this Monday through Saturday, right? So yeah,
Saturday.
Monday through Saturday. Immediately after following
Bingo after
Bingo
dark.
After Dark, yeah. And we're here and we're talking about, any and everything, but it's always structured. There's never no but we try to keep the
Ratchetness.
rah down and
Yeah,
ratchet.
no rowdiness.
Yeah,
Please.
we don't like that. So
Grown folks only.
we got
Mhm.
tools to get people, you know what I'm saying, out of the world that's gonna act like that.
Mhm.
We got stuff like this here.
Pull out the plan.
Yeah, Matt.
You
I
know he
just
can't
walked
teach right
in and
now.
you're aiming the gun at me.
No. Matt is
It's because
one
you
of
got
our
the suit
security
on. It's because
guys.
you got the suit.
Pull your double barrel out.
Oh, well, he ready. He ready.
Damn, how you get it out your back like that?
That's what he said. He just pulled it
Say
out.
bye-bye.
Yeah. So he's one of our securities, you know what I'm saying? We usually keep security tucked in tight around here, just in
Oh,
case we got some trolls that come in here.
But like I walk in and all of a sudden I see the laser dot coming at me. It's like, what the
Oh no,
heck?
I was just showing them that. But again, like I said, I love the dialogue that we had. 88 Pluto, we love to see you up here on the panel, you know what I'm saying? Maybe tomorrow, want to hear what you have to offer, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a wealth of knowledge here, and I really
Utilize it.
appreciate, I really appreciate hearing it, learning, teaching. We love it all. We here for it all. So thank y'all for coming out. In my Russell Simmons voice, God bless y'all. Good night.
Yeah, good night. I can clap in real life.
Hey, we out this way, y'all.
Oh,
Back
yeah, you
here.
got me stuck. Got me
You
stuck.
go right
out
that
here.
way. No, see, you run into chairs and stuff.
No, I'm
That's the
sitting
exit.
down for a
Oh,
second.
you
'cause
sitting down.
I'm getting ready to log off.
Okay, you ready?
You stop by my crib?
Yeah, I did. I stopped by your crib using the coin.
Oh, my bad.
When you sit there fight, I came through there because I saw the invite late, and then when I got
Yeah.
there, who else came through there? One of your homies
Mhm.
that was there before when we was doing